Hey, quants, let's get into the markets. Yesterday, I did not do a video, and it was a bloodbath. With that said, I hope everyone is doing okay. I've heard a lot of people saying a lot of things, and I just hope that people are not taking this too seriously. Well, you should take it seriously, so don't get me wrong about that. But I hope that people aren't actually making life changes that would negatively impact themselves. So with that said, we did kind of go over this a little bit last time. I don't really care to have all that open, so let's close this. We did mention that right here, this was kind of like the you probably should have gotten out if you didn't get out. Of course, they had 821 signal was here. We had the breakdown of the 0.5. And then it was just a bloody waterfall after that, blah, all the way down. So I am kind of curious because I don't think I mentioned this last time. I'm kind of curious if I were just to kind of measure the top of this candle, just to get roughly the bottom of that channel all the way to the bottom here and see where things did end up. Oh my gosh, did it go lower today? Oh, I'm kind of glad I wasn't watching the markets because, dude, that was nasty. I guess maybe this was last night my time. So 28%, 30% a day. I mean, not a day. Over the last, what was that, 7 bars a week? Holy cow. I mean, that is not something Bitcoin has not done before. I mean, it's done it before. You know what I mean? It's like, we should be used to this. But, you know, institutions are here. It's not supposed to happen, right? I mean, that's kind of what you'd expect. But I guess all that stuff is just out the window. So I did mention that there's a potential. I think we were probably around here somewhere. And when I was looking, I believe I was looking at the weekly time frame. I decided to jump up there because I was talking about the potential for this bullish divergence playing out, which I'm not looking at. Let's see if we look at the values exactly. 5372 and then 5375. It's actually lower, right? So no chance of a bullish divergence from here to here. Let's see on the stochastics. Technically, you still have it if you're playing these two. You don't have it on a MACD anymore, but it could potentially MACD double bottom, whatever. I mean, momentum's all down here, right? So right now, I think this is just looking like a bit of a relief rally. So. Man, that was ugly. I'm just going to say that. And at this point, I think I've mentioned last time, after some of that sell-off, it's probably time that it wouldn't be, it would be okay. Like we should probably see some kind of a recovery, right? And that might be short-term or short-lived, but potentially we could see all the way back up to this 84 here. I did talk a little bit about GAN and some of the stuff and that was like, we're in a phase of potential growth in that. And so I did a little bit more research on that, just looking into that. And so at these pivot points, being the midpoint, and yesterday was also still considered that midpoint. It was like February 4th and 5th. And so it's plus or minus 2 days. And so what I found out is that it's you can be, it can be further continuation, or it could also be a reversal. So we did see a lot of continuation yesterday. But with that said, this looks like, a massive candle. I did zoom out here. I was looking at this yesterday. I mean, in all of Bitcoin, there are only a few candles that are higher. There are a few there, but there's only a few. So that was a ton of volume, and we're getting a ton of volume now, buying volume actually. And so do I think this is a bottom? I think after such a nasty sell-off, at a minimum, we're going to go get some more of this sideways action. If we get more sideways action, then, there's potential for continuation. What I would like to see is kind of a V bottom here and at least get back up to this 84. Now, I have been talking about the 200s. And I do think that eventually we're going to get to the 200s, but with such a sell-off and the 200s being so far away, I don't know if that's just going to happen right away. We'd have to see some things. I think we'd have to see some changes. Maybe we get the Clarity Act magically, and then there's some other favorable bullish news that drives prices up. But since the beginning. It was since pretty much October when we had that massive sell-off. We were kind of, I would say, not so much climbing the wall of worry. We had it was kind of the opposite, where we had a lot of bullish news coming out, and then the price was just not. It really wasn't getting that push up, right? It was trying to go up, but it wasn't really going up. So, yeah. So it looks like we'll get a little bit of recovery here, which is good considering we had such a major sell-off. But still, we haven't even reached the top of where we sold off yesterday. Yeah. So if we can get a close up here, that's probably going to look decent. But man, sometimes that just happens. You get that massive sell-off, comes back up, and then it just drops again, right? So we'll see how that plays out. I see that in a lot of like altcoins, right? So the altcoins, they'll have this massive sell-off. You think you're buying the bottom because, you know, you had the big volume candle, you had this big capitulation wick, everyone's done, I'm going to get in, it's the bottom for sure. And then you see this 1 day candle or maybe 1 4-hour candle that just rockets back up, and you, oh, I'm winning. And then the next candle just blasts all the way back down, right? So, of course, I hope that doesn't happen here with Bitcoin, but you need to be aware that that is definitely a possibility. So, you know, proceed with caution. Let's see. I did mention looking at the weekly time frame, and so we got the weekly 200 touch. We didn't quite get the SMA touch, but man, that's close. I mean, kind of like on the opposite end where we almost touched it going up and then we fell down. Same kind of idea there, right? So, yeah. So short-term targets would look good buying there. Obviously, long-term is yet to. We're no way of knowing yet, but I'm kind of curious. When last time we were at the 200s, what date is this? October. This is in October 2023. So, hey, we finally got that 200 touch after a couple of years. So, you know, it's gonna happen. Who knows? Maybe we just rock it off from here. I think I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, because I don't think we were quite there. I think we were hovering up around here, and I was just thinking, that's a pretty big drop. I don't think we're getting all the way down there yet. But we obviously did, and we even got a touch of the previous all-time highs. So I'm making a quick video now, and so even though I'm kind of rambling on and talking a little bit, I wanted to put together some other stuff that I had done before about looking at the left translated cycle. I'm going to remember, and I'm going to do that next time. And I wanted to look at, we're like, how many times did we touch this previous top last time? And so I haven't gone through and done that stuff, prepared the chart for that. And I don't want to fish around for it right now. So I'll be looking to do that kind of stuff next time. But, you know, we got the 200 touch. Considering this doesn't, if you compare it to what we had the last cycle, we had this 2020 up to 21, we got slammed down, but even then we didn't even touch the 200, right? And then back up, right? So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. I was talking about Elliott wave before, and I wasn't, that's, now I'm remembering, that I think we were setting up here. We're barely below here, and what I was looking at is in an ABC, oftentimes the A and the B are similar in length. I did draw that out. I don't know if I did that last time, and so I don't think we quite got to where the potential C could be if I were to put this over here. So just kind of lining it up there. So yeah, so 52, I've heard people calling 49, so that kind of aligns with this ABC target. We're getting a little bit here, and again, it doesn't have to be straight down, right? So maybe we get a little bit on the weekly candle, a little bit of relief, and then next week we go all the way back down. But my point about that is that was super fast, and in context of time, I mean, it's quick relative to like these like all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I mean, it doesn't look too crazy. What I would, that doesn't mean this. That also doesn't mean that this is going to be it, right? Because it could be an impulsive 5 wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then maybe we get some more time out here, 4, and then all the way back down to 5. I don't know if we're going to go all the way down that far. We ended up around like 15,000. So, I mean, yeah, I'll get into some more of that analysis. I need to prepare the charts for that. So I'm just kind of like surmising different ideas here, but crypto is crazy. All right, let's take a look at real quick silver and gold. Gold, it looks on the weekly right now. Let's go back to the daily. Weekly is fine to look at, but yeah, it's just kind of like hanging out here. We got a long ways to drop. You know, it's basing out kind of what I expect. I'm expecting basing out, and then if it breaks down, I'd probably be tracking some of these lows here. It's already a low here, right? So considering it already dropped, if it drops down here, it's probably going to get all the way down to the 200s and get that final touch to the 200s. But I would wait, you know, kind of wait and see what's going on here. This is just basing out. Still not a bad spot to take profits. If you bought, you know, if you bought back at this triangle here, even if you bought back here, you're still going to be up some. So might want to take some of those profits. Let's take a peek at silver. Silver kind of tanked out. It already closed below here. So this is your traditional, GAN signal. If you weren't tracking these on the way up and you were waiting for a down and then an up and then a break of the down, this is your signal to get out. If you didn't get out yesterday, you're getting out at a little bit better price today. And of course, there's no way of knowing that this isn't going to keep going forever, but, or obviously it's not going to go forever, but going to keep going up. But if you're just doing very basic GAN swing stuff, there's your signal to get out. And if you're doing it today, you're getting out at a little bit better price than you would have got out yesterday. So, you know, that's a huge drop, but you got to take what the market gives you. I still learn that myself. I'm still learning that myself. Sometimes I have a strategy. I was very reminiscent. What was I doing? I was reflecting a lot yesterday about how my own trading behaviors have been. I have at times executed very well in crypto and at times executed very well in stocks. And I will say over this cycle, although I executed well at the beginning of the cycle, I executed much more poorly at the end of the cycle in terms of crypto, but I did execute a lot better in stocks. And so I was kind of the opposite last cycle. So, you know, flip-flopping back and forth, just trying to get a little better every time. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. I want to get back to doing what I love, which is building stuff. So we will catch you on the next one. Peace, quants.